He's back. Doesn't it just feel like everything's right in the world? He right here. He's back. Max Bullough, he's back. Sherrone Moore probably not going to be back at his old job.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Today's bonus episode of Locked On Spartans is brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of all the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing? Just like I said, on a little bonus episode of Locked On Spartans here. Thanks a lot, guys, for making us part of your morning, daily, nightly routine. Whenever you guys are listening to this, hey, thanks a lot for making us your first listen every single day right here on the number one ranked Locked On Podcast Network. Please rate, review, subscribe, comment below your thoughts on Max Bullough. That's right, former prodigal son linebacker here at Michigan State, here to lead the next generation of linebackers under Joe Rossi, under Pat Fitzgerald. Oh, God, just hard-nosed, high-energy defensive coaching everywhere in East Lansing now. Guys, you could already tell. I love the move. And how can you not love the move? This guy was a legend at Michigan State. And look, this isn't the first time we've been talking about Max Bullough. This isn't actually the first year we've been talking about Max Bullough making a return to East Lansing. We've been talking about it for 2-3 years now, and the genesis of this all wasn't just Michigan State struggling on the football field, and any cry for help would be welcomed here in East Lansing. No, I go back to that clip that you saw on Bussin' with the Boys, and that's that, famous podcast with Will Compton, and then that other guy that defended his kicker friend a while ago from Michigan. I forget his name, but they had Mike Vrabel on. Great NFL coach, clearly a great NFL coach on. And they asked him, who's the smartest player you've ever coached? And I just can never get it out of my head, his answer. But he answered Max Bullough. Of all the players Mike Vrabel could have coached, whether it was with the Texans where Max Bullough spent some time, or with the Tennessee Titans when he was taking that interview, seeing the amount of players that he's been around in his career, and he picked the guy in Max Bullough. There's no disrespect. This is just, painting a picture of what his career was. Largely in and out of practice squads. Sure, he played some actual real-life NFL games, but short career, not a memorable player for anyone outside the MSU stratosphere, I would imagine. But Mike Vrabel said that this is the smartest guy that I've coached. Well, what do you think was going to happen when he became a coach, whether it was at Cincinnati, grad assistant over at Alabama, now a linebacker coach at Notre Dame, and now, hopefully, continuing what looks to be a promising young coaching career back home in East Lansing, guys. Now, the last you heard me talk, and maybe you didn't stick around for the 31st minute of the last episode that we did, but I'll out myself. Who cares? We got to be transparent. We got a question in the mailbag that said, hey, do you think Max will come back? I said, honestly, since they brought Joe Rossi back as defensive coordinator, I would doubt to see Max Bullough back. I don't think he's going to be taking the same position here in East Lansing unless you slap the co-defensive coordinator tag on him. That would be a raise in title. It would be a raise in pay. Sure, home is always calling, but why leave a good program and a really good job down there just to come up to the program, yes, that you grew up playing under, but one that is a little turbulent right now. So, hey, whether it's the title, whether it's the raise in salary, or I'm sure there is something to this that he wants to bring Michigan State's defense back to its glory days. He's back. He's back, and we're thrilled about it. This is great, guys. Look, we got how many more position coaches? 8, 9, 10 more position coaches that you have to add to this staff. But so far, the two pieces of the puzzle we do know, Joe Rossi, Max Bullough, who, by the way, is bringing an assistant linebacker coach with him. He's bringing Trey Reeder, a guy that was a former walk-on, turned linebacker at Notre Dame, very young kid. But based on what they're talking about at IrishIllustrated.com, that's Notre Dame's 24/7 sports site over there, they said this kid's a young, up-and-coming coach. So, hey, 2 for the price of 1 with Max Bullough coming to town. Now, fawning over Max Bullough because he was a really good player on this first team All Big Ten player. back in 2012, right? Like, what is he actually doing as a coach? Well, along with picking up a great pedigree, like we said, at Alabama, now Notre Dame, two very solid programs. Well, let's just look at Notre Dame's defense last year. 11th in the nation in opponent yards per carry. They were 12th in the nation in sacks. So it's a solid defense. You can kind of always count on one at Notre Dame. At least last year, you certainly could. But yeah, I mean, how about recruiting though? Notre Dame is a kind of a simpler place to recruit than Michigan State. Let's not get it twisted. I mean, those gold helmets do shine. They are in the college football playoff. Maybe this is a bad example, but more years than not, that is a premium program, right? So, look, he still gets four-star linebackers in his time at Notre Dame. All right, now is that to say that he's just going to turn on a four-star recruiting switch here? No, that's not guaranteed, but it certainly helps. He knows what it takes to get into these kids' living rooms, and hopefully that there are going to be resources matched when he does talk to these kids to bring some serious talent here to East Lansing. And this could very well recruit some of your own players to stay at Michigan State, right? How about Jordan Hall? Like, this is a guy that is at the top of every Spartan's wish list of who to keep that are still left on the board. Obviously, Nick Marsh already made up his mind. He's going to leave. Alessio Milivojevic, your quarterback, he was certainly next in line. But my God, can you keep talented linebacker, like I would say by far the most talented guy in the defense, can you keep him around for a fourth year here in East Lansing? Hopefully a move like this and keeping Rossi is enough to entice Jordan Hall to come back because, yeah, you need some playmakers. You need some difference makers on the defense, and it starts with retaining him. So, guys, I can't be more thrilled about it, as you guys already know. So, hey, look at us. Look at us roll. Max Bullough, he is back in our lives. And guys, we got more to talk about because, yeah, like, I'm just going to let this whole Sherrone Moore thing go. Like, yeah, right. No, we're going to talk about it because there's just something a little interesting that I noticed. And no, not interesting in the sense like, wow, I believe it's really interesting that this guy cheated on his wife with a staffer. No, that in its own right is head scratching. I got something even a little bit more just, interesting how the blue wall just keeps on getting away with this time and time again. But before we get to that, guys, it's the holiday season, and you're going to want the perfect gift before time runs out, and Aura Frames is here to rescue you with that. It is the gift that delivers every single time, and it's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories that are meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction too, because Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it, so guys, when they plug it in, the memories are already there. You're not fuddling around with an app on the morning of Christmas. There's not a bunch of headaches going around. No, it's instant smiles right when they open it. It's a fantastic gift, guys. It's great for grandparents, parents, newlyweds, or anyone that loves photos, and not just even photos, but you could upload 30-second videos right there through the Aura app, guys. It's a fantastic gift, and for a limited time, yeah, save on this perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code COLLEGE at checkout. That's auraframes.com, promo code COLLEGE. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast, so order yours now and get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Now, also, FanDuel. Now, yeah, I'll talk about NFL betting here in a second, but if you missed the earlier show today, let me keep you hip to some PDC Darts World Championship bets because the tournament starts tomorrow. That's right. Luke Littler, probably going to run away with this thing, but if you want a good prop, 35-1 on him getting 2+9 dart finishes. Very difficult to do at once. If there's a guy doing it twice in the same tournament, could be him. Also, you want some value? Josh Rock. All right. 18-1. Not bad. It's got a high checkout rate. I don't hate it. I don't think he's going to win, but hey, you got to like value. Guys, if you like value, especially with your live bets, well, live betting is the place to be when the game starts to shift, like a receiver gets hot, defense starts to tighten up, or momentum shifting turnover happens. FanDuel lets you jump in on all the action with their live spreads or live money lines or live player props. Guys, you could even bet on next touchdown, drive results, whatever it is happening live. Odds are you could find it on FanDuel. So, guys, whether it's darts, whether it's NFL football, if you want to be right in the middle of all of the action, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. It's FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty here because, oh my, oh, Sherrone, you did on the road, did you? That's, it's unfortunate. It really is. Like, I'm bummed for all involved. I mean, this is lives obviously changed, and this goes beyond just Sherrone Moore and the staffer that he was with. There's a family or two, or maybe many involved right here. And obviously, I've heard that yes, he is in a holding cell right now at the time of recording. You don't get there by something funny happening. I know that there are some serious things going on. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to do what some people on the other side do and say, oh, you reap what you sow. No, I'm not going to do any of those charades right now. I'm going to hope that everyone is just doing as good as they can possibly be right now. It'd be a little naive to say, oh, hope everything's going fine. No. I just hope everything just comes to a head for all parties involved and that some sort of peace and stability in life goes on from here. But with that said, I just can't help to find it interesting that, well, that's weird. It seems like some people knew about this for like days, if not weeks. Or how about you go over to Josh Pate? Now, if you don't know who Josh Pate is, then I don't know what to tell you. He's a massive, massive media figure in college football. Does fantastic work. I love Josh Pate. But a month ago, he said that there's going to be some movement at a program that you might not expect. And then he went back to that tweet today and said, basically, this was it. Oh, what? Hold on. What? What did I just say? Josh Pate, a national guy who has his fingerprints over many programs from the Atlantic to the Pacific. He knew about this a month ago. How come I'm reading burner Twitter accounts, college kids in their apartments or their frat houses, whatever, tweeting about all this happening a few days or a few weeks ago in some cases? But that's interesting because no one on the Michigan beat necessarily. And think of how many podcasts, how many blogs, how many credentialed media members there are inside of that football building. I didn't have this at all. Groundbreaking, earth-shattering story that seemingly a lot of people knew about. It's just convenient that once again, how come no one in Ann Arbor? How come no one in the Schembechler football building, could bring this to light? Or not even just bring it to light. Take Sam Webb, for example. Or Scam Webb, as some people are now calling him, because this is one of the big insiders for Michigan. He kind of brought attention to this, said, hey, I have heard the rumors. There's no validity to it. It's all fake. No, there's nothing to it. And then, well, you fast forward a few days later and, your head coach fired for cause. Does anyone with a credential do anything over there in Ann Arbor? Seemingly, it just seems to be the only place where, only national figures can break stories, or in some instances, their student newspaper. No one that's actually professional over there can actually do anything, though, right? Like, at the top of my head, let's just see everything that they've gotten away with here and everything that's been broken by national media members or people not even on the U of M beat, right? Like, how about this whole cheating scandal? My goodness gracious. The recruiting violations they had during COVID. How about Matt Weiss getting his house raided by the feds? Or Mozzie Smith playing through felony firearms charges? Or how about the half dozen coaches that seemingly have DUIs on this team? And, all that we get is just, hey, still the leaders and the best, baby. That's right. We're not going to write columns or think pieces on that over here. No. I like my seat in this press box here. I ain't going to do anything. Oh, what's that? Sherrone Moore having affairs with a staff member that he gave a $30,000 raise to in the offseason? No, I actually don't want to talk about that. No, that's okay. Guys, it's not even just recently, too. You go all the way back to the Brandon Gibbons story, or the Brennan Gibbons story, whatever the kid's name is. That was uncovered by the student newspaper there. This all takes place in a building, too, that's named after the head coach that allegedly protected his doctor friend after dozens, if not hundreds, of alleged assaults happened. So I guess, what else do you expect? No columns written about that, no think pieces or people that wear the maize and blue getting up there in front of their platform and saying, hey, things should probably change. No. That doesn't happen. Oh, yeah, come to think of it, too. How about Schembechler's kid that was liking tweets about bringing back Jim Crow era laws that was uncovered by, us, Michigan State Twitter users and not their own HR department or anything. Everything just is loosey-goosey over there, and everyone else. How does Warren Manuel, their athletic director, let this happen? Because he can. Don't you people get it by now? He's just a bulletproof vest for the athletic department. Kind of the same way Roger Goodell's a bulletproof vest for the NFL if anything ever bad happens. It's never the owners getting flack. Someone has to stand up in a suit in front of them and just absorb bullets for quite a nice salary. That's all Warren Manuel does, because what? His local media is going to write about it? The local media is going to skewer them over it or hold anyone accountable? Grow up. No, of course not. We're talking about a place that has a Michigan Press Box Hall of Fame. You know how North Korean that sounds? We're going to give a Hall of Fame to our finest media lemmings that follow our talking points and our lines right in order. Like, that doesn't happen other places. Like, there's a reason why the top columnist for the Detroit News couldn't be bothered to even tweet about the saga until 4 hours after it happened. He basically had to be dragged to his phone to give some thoughts on this. So, like, come on. Josh Payton knows about this for a month, but no one over in Ann Arbor does. Like, nothing gets leaked out. And then when it comes forward that, hey, there's actually some rumors percolating on the internet, we just got people saying, oh, no, that's actually not true at all. No, I looked around everywhere. Everyone's innocent. Nothing's going to happen. It's all great. All you can do is laugh about it. And this will continue to happen. This is funny. Anyway, Austin Meek, he had a tweet, and he does work for The Athletic. Now, he wrote an updated story on Michigan firing Sherrone Moore. The investigation, this is rich. The investigation was sparked by an anonymous tip and initially didn't produce evidence of the relationship, I was told. However, information emerged in the last 24 hours that prompted Moore's dismissal. Yeah, so that information was that signing day's over, your top 15 class signed, the ink is all dried, and that your record this year was 9-3, and those 9 wins came against a bunch of carcasses, basically. No wins notable on the schedule, and I'm even throwing my own team under the bus here. That was the new information that was somehow uncovered in the last 24 hours. Like, come on, man. Anyway, what does this mean for MSU? Not much, I don't think, honestly. I mean, yes, the portal does open back up. Sure, these recruits can jump in the portal now that their head coach is gone. But you look at Michigan's class, there's one kid from Michigan, and I believe that's Lloyd Carr's grandkid. You got a handful of kids from Ohio, but there's no one in this class that you really went head-to-head with, whether it is Jonathan Smith and his staff, or even if you want to go to, hey, did Max Bullough and Notre Dame's defense also try to recruit any of these kids that we could pull away? No, not really any matches. So kind of a boring end to that right there. I don't suspect this will have much impact on Michigan State's roster if you want to look at it that way. Or the other way, honestly, how does this impact Michigan State? It sure sounds like, and everyone knows about this, that Kalen DeBoer probably lined up to be Michigan's next head coach, which that's funny how that rumor was circulating a few days ago. But yeah, again, no one knew about Sherrone Moore apparently until right now. Kind of silly. Kind of ironic. Anyway, yeah, it'll probably make things harder for Michigan State to win on the football field, I suppose, because Sherrone Moore, I actually liked him being at Michigan. Sure, he popped us. He went 2-0 against us. But, man, were they a vulnerable program with him at the helm. And, well, it's probably why he's gone. I'm going to guess that this is not a story that we're even talking about. Should they have beaten Ohio State? Should they have gone to the college football playoff? Because, hey, maybe I'm just going a little too over my skis here. Seems to me that things might or might not be covered up sometimes in Ann Arbor if, this just all blows up at the very last minute. So, whatever. All right, guys, we'll be back. More formal show tomorrow with Locked On Nittany Lions. But, yeah, until then, guys, take care of yourselves. I do love you all. Thanks again for watching this bonus show. You guys are all the best. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments right now. Burnt Foam writes in, Jonathan Smith to Michigan. Do what we did. Overcorrect with your head coach. Just go over the top with just correcting yourself. But yeah, Ryan writes in, love the fire today, Matt. This is a fun topic. What a catastrophe that is unfolded. But yeah, It always comes back to, oh man, how does this just keep happening at Michigan? I don't know. Maybe because they have state-run media operating things over there, and the fans just only hear what they want to hear because that's all that they hear. Gee, yeah, that keeps happening. Whoa, that's crazy. It really takes a lot to figure it out how we got here. Anyway, all right, guys, take care of yourselves. Love you all. Go Green.